Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashim Kakwadash. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashim Kakwadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video More Prophecies and Other Topics. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. Because the main subject we're supposed to be into is the prophecies and pushing out the prophecies to make the yoke fellows, the elect, the potential elect, which ultimately are the elect, to get this, this information, which is the Most High's, the Yahweh Shemel Shai's knowledge, which has been bestowed upon us to teach, not to become celebrities, right? I'm going to speak on a bunch of different things. I got this right here. I was watching part of this last night, GMS Inspiration and Motivation, 2022, the year of Yahweh Shemel Shai turning up, and he certainly turned up. He and his son have certainly turned things up this year. So things are not going to go backwards. It's not going to go back to normal. We're not going to go back to the good old days. America's not going to become great again. So it says 2020, 12, 14, 2022. Right now it's 12, 15, 2022. So we have 16 days to the new year. Anyway, so it says current events, prophecy, and madness. So he was going into Tazariak interviewing. It wasn't an exclusive interview. It was, I believe, through WAC 100. You got to watch the whole video. I watch segments of it here and there. And I believe he got on the line and asked him a couple of questions, and he called it an interview. I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I hadn't seen this. Like I said, I don't know if this is an exclusive interview where Tazariak has this guy as a guest, or he just called in. So if you say different, okay, good. Anyway, now this brings up, and this is even in the video, if you watch this video, about fame, like the clout chasing, like Bishop Nate is clout chasing, and Captain Cesariak is clout chasing. Whether they're sincere or not, I mean, that's another way of getting the truth out. But Kanye made a statement about we don't even have our own flag, and then Captain Cesariak was around about here, maybe a minute before this one, 4:33. He said, "That's heavy. What's so heavy about not having a flag? Oh, that's heavy. Like I never, it's almost like they sucking up to these guys." And this the most I only use Kyrie and Ye to kind of push, push the envelope, so to speak. So it's up to us is to do our thing. Basically Kyrie, he's out of the way. Ye kind of looks like a bug out. He got his face covered looking like the gimp. So they look at him now, like the small hat say, "Oh, I don't gotta mess with that guy no more. He's not in his right mind." And the more interviews he does, the more he looks like he's crazy. So he's not really even a threat no more. And Kyrie ain't saying that no more, or the news don't put him out there no more, because they hung him up, they whipped him, and then they said, "You be a good nigga now." What can happen when you cross the small hats. So he's in his zone. So now we see this. We jumped on this opportunity. Now it's time to push it out here. Push this word out to the people. And let me say this: the majority of our people don't give a damn about being Israelite. There's a lot of people that are waking up, but it ain't in the millions. Not one Israelite camp. That includes IUIC, ICPK, Sakari. Um, there's no video uh, like a recent video that you made last week and it's got 2 million views on it. Nah, when you get the 2 million views, a lot of times it's like music videos and it's like nonsense. So that's what Jake is into. So the scriptures speak about a little sanctuary. So let me just do this. I'm going to go into some precepts, and I wanted to, what I wanted to do? I wanted to go to Jeremiah 30th chapter, and I'll do it's a short chapter, so I want to do a complete breakdown. That's what I've been doing lately. But I want to go into some things, and I want to go into the commentary on that as well. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, here it is right here. Since I'm here, let me go ahead and read it. What I did was I put in Jeremiah 30, verse 7, and I put in commentary. Normally I go to Bible Hub, but I went to studylight.org. But Bible Hub wasn't really telling me anything. So this is a commentary. This is Clark's commentary, verse Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great. For that day is great. This is his commentary. When the Medes and Persians with all their forces shall come on the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, it will be the day of Jacob's trial, dismay, which doesn't make any sense. There's only one Jacob's trouble. Now, we've been in trouble many a times, but there's only one Jacob's trouble. And uncertainty, but he shall be delivered out of it. The Chaldean empire shall fall, the Babylonians shall fall. But the Jews shall be delivered by Cyrus. Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, it says here, shall be destroyed by the Romans. So they're giving you two examples. So this Clark's commentary is saying that the time of Jacob's trouble is when the Persian and Mede took over, or the Medes took over, and the Persians ultimately ruled with the Medes, took over the ancient Babylonians, and it's talking about the Romans. Well, what about now? What about now? That we're talking more than 2,000 years ago, or about 2,000 years ago. So there was no more Jacob's trouble. That showed you that these commentators, people that put commentaries together on the Bible, these so-called Bible scholars, Christian scholars, they can give you a lot of good information. It's good to check them out just to see where their head is at. But when it comes to prophecies as of right now, because the prophecies are yet to be fulfilled. The prophecies are yet to be fulfilled. The book of Revelation, when it goes into what John saw, these are things that that's yet to happen. So even the book of Revelation, John's letter to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, are not even fulfilled to this deep. Well, it could happen next year. Hopefully, that all these prophecies take place and we get the hell out of here in 2023. We pray that it doesn't go to 2024. So it says, but the Jews shall be delivered by Cyrus. Jerusalem shall be destroyed by the Romans. But the Israel of God, that's in Galatians 6, shall be delivered from its ruin. Yeah, because they have to acknowledge that a lot of the Israelites were put to death, and that our Savior, Yahushua, said, when you see the abomination that maketh desolate sitting in the sitting where it ought not, as Daniel said, then flee into the mountains. As we said, flee out of the land. So the ones that took heed, they fled. The others, they were put to death. And we didn't just flee in Africa, we fled into Europe. Some of us fled in Egypt because there was a community of, it could be anywhere from 1 million to a couple of million Israelites that were living there. The biggest pilgrimage to Jerusalem during the time of the Passover, the Passover, the Feast of Weeks, and the Tabernacles. The biggest group that came out there were the Alexandrian, the Israelites out of Alexandria, Egypt. So there was a big company of people. I can say millions. They don't give you a number. Why do you think the angel Gabriel told Joseph and ultimately Joseph and Mary to go to Egypt? Because what was in Egypt? A lot of Israelites, a big community of Israelites, man. Some of them were speaking Hebrew, a lot of them were speaking Greek. Some of them were speaking probably Egyptian language. So there's a reason why they fled into Egypt. Because you had Israelites out there. They didn't hide among the so-called Egyptians. So in order for you to understand these scriptures, you got to understand prophecy. And Christians don't understand it. They don't open up, when they go into the scriptures, they'll read it. They don't open up a book of maps. They don't open up a book of geology, the study of the earth. They don't go into history. They don't match up. They don't match up the prophecies that took place back, side by side with secular, secular information. See, we can go back to Daniel 8 and we can give you the secular information. Christians can't do that unless you're a scholar. Some of them will get it, some of them won't. Even vocab doesn't know about that. They don't know about matching prophecies that took place in the past with secular history. He couldn't tell you that Shalmaneser, it started with Shalmaneser IV and his son Shalmaneser V. By the way, Shalmaneser was a title. It wasn't his actual name. You had Shalmaneser I, Shalmaneser II. Like you got the Caesars and you got the different emperors. So it says, Jerusalem shall be destroyed by the Romans, but the Israel of God, which are the chosen elect, shall be delivered from its ruins. Not one that had embraced Christianity, meaning followed the Israelites that had followed the Lord, perished in the sackage of that city. So they're giving you two time periods of when they think the time of Jacob's trouble came to pass, which they were wrong on both of them. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this here. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I want to do this. Let me see. How do we do this? We'll come back over here. Trying to work this out. Okay, let me do it this way. I'll just do it this way. Let me go commentary. Commentary. Daniel 12. And I'll go to the first verse. Put down commentary. That's 11. Do this again. Let me see if I can find. I can't even find that commentary. Let me do it this way. Let me just go to Bible Hub. Okay, Michael the Great Prince. Standeth for a time of trouble. The expression seems borrowed from Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Good. All right. And they're correct on that. Daniel, Daniel 12 and 1. The first one of the first precepts that should come to your mind is Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Where also Israel is spoken of as saved from it. Right. It's also in Matthew 24, a time of trouble. And that's Jacob's trouble, such as never was since, shall be saved. All right, the period of deliverance there here spoken of is the same as the period of redemption described in Daniel 7. Beautiful. But they don't understand that because we're going to go to this. Daniel 7 and 18. So we know that Daniel 7 verse 18 is talking about now. Daniel 7:18 is yet to happen. Now, from the first verse of Daniel 7 on down, going up to 7, 8 verse, that already took place. Daniel 7 verse 26 to 27, Daniel 9:24. Nope, not talking about Daniel 9:24. So you could get rid of this. But they're right when they say Daniel 7 and 18, Daniel 7:26 to 27. You can really start at 25. Okay, the names of the wicked will be blotted out of the book of life and out of the books of the holy ones, and we're the holy ones, the Kodash, and applied in a Christian sense. We are the real Christians. This means anointed. Okay, that's Philippians 4 and 3, Revelation 3 and 5. He that overcometh the same shall be clothed in white raiment. That's the elect, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, the Lamb's book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. Yeah, because we have angels protecting us. Revelation, Revelation 13 and 8. And all that dwell on the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book. And when they worship him, they're going to ultimately take his charagma. And I did a previous video last night. I said anybody that can't, I don't remember the exact name, but anybody that can't understand this or see this took the bag, something to that effect. And it's a damn shame you got these guys, these major camps, IUIC, ICPK, that when you ask them about, the MOTB, they'll go into some nonsense, some bullshit. And there's no way, man. As many videos that we put up, and we know that they watch our videos, they're not going to see it. They're not going to. They got to see it. They got to see it. And And I'm saying they got to see it. They got to know the way we break it down is the right way. Or or they took the bag. And wait till this fucking noise go by. These fucking Latin tribes. Okay, Revelation 17 and 8. Revelation 17 and 8. The beast that was that you saw was and is descended to the bottomless pit and go on to perdition. They don't even know what that means. Revelation 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, right, being judged. That's the judgment. So they're equating all these scriptures to Daniel 12 and 1. They're saying, okay, Daniel 12 and 1, Daniel 12 and 2 goes hand in hand with these scriptures. But they'll tell you that, oh, that's talking about when we were delivered from the Babylonians by the Persian and Medes and the Romans. No, this is getting ready to take place. I keep going through this over and over again. So anyway, let's come back. Let's come back. So you could go through the precepts yourself. You can go through the commentary. Let me do this. That was Cambridge. Okay, so in this one, and they go off. They go off. Okay, they're on point. They're on point with they go off on this. They're on point with Daniel 7 and 18, Daniel 7:25, Daniel 9:24. They go off on. Daniel 9:24 already took place almost 2,000 years ago. Daniel 12 and 1. The Masonic kingdom dissolving the world kingdoms. Okay, then they got it right. That's talking about this is getting ready to happen. Uh, Daniel 12 and 1 with the setup of the Messianic kingdom described in Daniel 7, verse 2, Daniel 7, verse 9. They got it right. So why are these other scriptures in here? Daniel 12, Daniel 9, Daniel 11, 40, Daniel 11, 40, Daniel 11, 45, Daniel 11 chapter already took place over 2,000 years ago. There's no prophetic scriptures that's going to take place now. And the Antichrist is not mentioned here. This Daniel 10 and 21 already took place. So they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So we are the primary premier prophets. When I say prophets, prophesiers, we understand these prophecies fully. Esau can't understand. They kind of sort of get it. It says Daniel 12 and 1 with the setting up of the Messianic kingdom. That's not going to come after Babylon. The Babylonians were taken down. Babylonians were taken down. That didn't come after the Romans, after the Lord died in Rome, because the Romans were still killing people. So the Lord didn't come back to restore the kingdom to the Romans. I go through this over and over again. So it says It says the messianic kingdom described in Daniel 7 and 2, Daniel 7 and 9, Most High sitting on the throne as a so called black man, and finds in the verse Daniel 12 and 1. So they got it right. They're linking Daniel 12 and 1 to Daniel 7. The messianic kingdom dissolving the world kingdoms. So what is other commentator Clark's commentary? Oh, that's talking about the Persian and the Medes, and it's talking about the Romans. No, it's not. You know, when you go to these commentaries, you get confused, and they contradict one another. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's come over here. I want to just go through Jeremiah 30, and I'll try to go through this quick. Deliverance from captivity promise. Now, Jeremiah 30 and 7 is talking about this time coming. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this. Okay, it's in there a bunch of times. Right, it says here, Job 38, verse 23, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of the battle of war. So we've been in trouble many times through the different captivities, but never experienced a time of Jacob's trouble. Oh, and the scripture said, we shall receive fame, and all the lands we will put to shame in. So we don't got to ride off of the backs of Ye and Kyrie. They just push the envelope. So we got to come. We got to say, look, we're the authorities. Okay, where the hell is it? Give me a second. Matthew 24. Okay. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. And that goes hand in hand with tribulation. Let me see if I can find that. 21, 21st verse. Matthew 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. Another word for tribulation is trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Daniel 12 And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, the elect of Israel. And there shall be a what? A time of trouble, such as never was. So Yahushua said the same thing that Daniel said. He's reiterating what Daniel said, since there was a nation even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Back to Matthew 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, because they're planning on killing us off with the chemtrails and the jump shots. So when you read Matthew's the 24th chapter, it's talking about, and Christians don't understand this either. They'll read Matthew 24 and they'll say it's all talking about the end times, the Antichrist and all that. They don't even know that there's two Antichrists. If they want to call the beast the Antichrist, they'll go to Matthew 24 and they'll say it's talking about the end of the age. Whereas Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13 are talking about two different time periods in history, 70 AD and what's getting ready to come. And I'm singing to the choir. This is for you newer people out there that's coming up. That's mostly what we do these videos for. Because brothers that been in this thing 10, 15 years, you already know this. Back when you watch this, you think of other precepts. So now let me go to Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30 and 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh the Most High of Yasha'Allah, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book, which is called the book of Jeremiah. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. What does that mean? Israel and Judah is going to come together. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let's see how they break this down. Let's get into the mind of these Christian scholars. If you notice, Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges have nothing to say because they don't know what it means. If you got a blank page right there, if you got a blank page, they say a few words, they don't have an answer for that. What did we just read? Jeremiah 30, verse 3. For lo, the days come, something in the future, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. Now they can't say they were delivered from the Babylonian Empire, because remember the split when the Babylonians took down Yahweh, the kingdom of Yahweh, Malak Yahweh, Israel, Yasha'Allah, the northern kingdom, they didn't even know this. They were already on the other side of the world. They were in the uttermost part of the west. Saith Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Did this take place? Nope, it's getting ready to take place. And this is why, let's go back over here. This is why it's blank. This is why it's blank, because they see Israel and Judah. Say, wait a minute, we don't know what happened to Israel, the kingdom of Israel. Let me see. They ain't saying too much. because they don't know. They don't understand that the kingdom, the northern kingdom, came over here to the Americas, and they're still alive. So the gathering is going to be where? In America. All the tribes are here, man. I'm not even going to try to read this because, yeah, they don't understand. And that's when you get these devils on. You go into them scriptures. You gotta find you gotta and when you fight in a war, you gotta think the way the enemy thinks. You know, what is this? The movie Training Day. He said in order to catch, how do you say? In order for you to catch the wolf, you gotta become a wolf. You gotta think like a wolf. You know. So in order to understand these prophecies, the spirit's got to be in you. The spirit's got to be in you. You got to search and search until you find it. And these scholars, and I just showed you, they didn't say too much. Cambridge has always got a lot to say about something. It means this, and give me this precept, and give me that precept. They ain't got nothing to say. Let's go back to that again. Let's just look at it. What's up with Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges? Turn again to captivity. See on Jeremiah 29, verse 14. Well, that comes before Jeremiah 30. And I will be found of you, said the Lord. I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations. That's future prophecy. You got to start reading that more. And from all the places where I have driven you, said the Lord Yahweh, and I will bring you again into the place from where I cause you to be carried away captive. Well, it's talking about let's come back over here. It's talking about Israel and Judah coming together. That's why there's no answer. One precept. So let's read that again. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yasha'Allah wa Yahweh, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. There was a commercial on, when you go to YouTube videos, you see a commercial. There's a commercial on this small hat. We're back in the land of Israel, and this is the fulfillment of Ezekiel 37. We are the dry bones. And I'm looking at this guy. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Because the only people that's back in the land of Yasha'Allah are you people that call yourself Jews. Where's the other tribes? Where's the tribe of Asher? Where's the tribe of Ephraim? Where's the tribe of Levi? Some of you call yourself Levi. Where's the tribe of Benjamin? None of you call yourself Benjamin. Issachar. Where's Issachar? And another thing, you're supposed to split those lands up according to the tribes. So you got these small hats all scattered in where Gad's supposed to be, or where Reuben's supposed to be, or where Issachar. So it's so easy. That's why you don't want to sit. You're not going to sit down with us, man, and discuss this and debate this. Because the first thing we're going to say is, where are the rest of the tribes? The fulfillment is that all the tribes are going to come together. Where are the rest of the tribes? Ezekiel 37, verse 16. It speaks about take the two planks. The word there in the Hebrew is translates in the word plank, and put them together. Where are the rest of the tribes? And then you remind them. You go to the scriptures where it speaks about the tribes. Jacob had sons which became the children of Israel. Where's Joseph? Where's Joseph? Or Ephraim? Where's Manasseh? So these are not the people. They're living on a lie, and that lie is catching up to them. That's why they got so mad when Kyrie mentioned that movie and that book, Hebrews to Negroes, which the guy that put that together, he don't know what that he's on the low level. He's on the low level. He's a kindergartner talking about Ronald Dalton Jr. He's not on our level. He's teaching that the so-called white man a Japhetic. He's not on no level, man. And I believe he learned. He came into this. He admitted it in one interview. I believe it was Black to Africa. He admitted it. He admitted that he learned this about 10, 11 years ago. Well, guess what? We were on YouTube we've been on YouTube for 15 years. So we believe you stumble upon either our videos, IUICI, one of the major groups out there. It said, and these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. There it goes again, concerning Israel and concerning Judah. But thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling of fear and not of peace. Let me bring this down. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? That's parabolic talk for we catching hell. We under the curses to this day. And all faces are turned into paleness. When you're sick, you look pale. Now you can say, see, that means that they're white. No, it doesn't. 7th verse, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, even it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who shall be saved? The Israelites, and the 12 tribes of Israel. Go back to the 3rd verse of this chapter, in the 4th verse of this chapter. It mentions Yasha'Allah and Judah. And then the Lord said the same thing, a time of tribulation, such as with the world. He was quoting what Daniel 12:1 said. It says, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. And now it's not talking about a physical yoke. That physical yoke we went through back in the transatlantic slavery. The yoke that's on us now is paper yokes, social security number, bank statements, any adhesion contracts that you signed, which are applications, which are nothing but contracts that you adhere to. That's why when you go through a red light or go through a stop sign, they can pull you over because you signed a contract. If you go to the DMV, it tells you right before you sign the contract, do you hereby agree to follow all the laws of whatever state the DMV laws are? So that's how so if you say, where's a contract? They pull out the adhesion contract. The adhesion contract is not an application. It's an adhesion contract. It's a contract. It's something that you agree to. So out of your own words, by signing your name, you agree to that. If and I don't know about other states, but I know in this state of New York, if you get pulled over, they check your records. There's nothing on the DMV with your name on it. You never had a license. You know what they're going to tell you? They're going to say, I can't give you a ticket because you're not in the system, and I can't take your car, but you can't drive it. You got to sit here. You better call somebody with a license. Then somebody come along with it. You call your woman or you call your friend. Yo, come and get me out of here. So you sitting there and the cops sitting there. And I seen this happen. Okay? I seen this happen. The guy comes by, two of your friends come by. They both got license. The police officer checks the license and he said, okay, good, you can drive the car. So you got to get in the passenger seat, but they can't arrest you. Now they probably do it now because we don't know the law, but because they don't have jurisdiction over this guy. So the yoke that's on us now are these adhesion contracts. That's why if you get a credit card, you sign an application. I'm gonna give you a little trick. If you get a if you sign a contract for a credit card or make an agreement, you max out the card, you don't want to pay it, they come after you, they send you to court. And this happened to me. They send me to court. Now that XYABC credit card company, they sold it to another credit card company, another bank, and the other bank went after me. You know what I did? I said, "Where's the contract, big boy? Where's the contract? Where's my name on the contract?" You know what they did? They started writing me nice letters saying, "Oh, we can work it out. Let's give me a call. You don't got to pay the whole," because they couldn't get me. They couldn't get me. That's how jurisdiction works. That's how jurisdiction works. What they hoped that you would do, see, I gave them a paper answer. I went to the court. I gave them a response on paper, legal documents that I put together myself, and I said across the board, denied, 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 denied. So now they got to prove if we go to court, they got to bring in a contract. There's no contract. They got to bring in the phone conversation that I agreed. I said, I never made an agreement with you. I did it with the other company, but they sold the debt to you at a certain price, so you can come after me, hoping that I won't answer, and I would have to pay by default. See, the way they get you, Jake, is by default. If you don't act on it, well, he didn't act on it. He had time to act on it. He didn't give me an answer. See, that's how that law works. Jurisdiction. So today's yoke is a paper yoke. I remember years ago, this had to be in the 80s, where Farrakhan he used to go to, Libya, and he was real close with Gaddafi. And Gaddafi said, I'm going to send you $25 million in the name of the Nation of Islam. $25,000 in the early 80s was a lot of money. $25 million. $25 million is not a lot for an organization. It's a good, it's better than not having it. But 25 million back then was more like 200 million today. Back in the early 80s, you can buy a brand new car for like $2,000-$3,000. Now you can't even buy a good used car for $2,000-$3,000. So 25 million back then would be equivalent to maybe more like closer to $200 million, $175 million. Now, you know what happened? The U.S. government at that time, I believe Reagan was there, he denied it. He said, nope. He said, you can't accept $25 million from Muammar Gaddafi. And you know what happened? Farrakhan complied because he's part of the U.S. He's under the jurisdiction. He had the yokes on him. Now the priest Al-Azhar said, oh, our leader is Farrakhan. I said, what? Is this guy out of his fucking mind? He ain't no leader of mine. And if he is a leader, he's going to lead you into a ditch. What does the precept say? If the blind leadeth the blind, they shall both fall into a ditch. I would never make no statement like that. Oh, Farrakhan is our leader. I'm not part of the Nation of Islam, but he's our leader. No, he's a stumbling block. The Most High set him up as a stumbling block. All them jakes that listen to him, they all going to take the charagma, and guess what? Farrakhan will most likely say, well, we got to wait to see. Farrakhan will most likely say, go ahead and take it. And them people are going to take it. All your church leaders, your pastors that are set up by the government, they're going to get that memo, and they probably don't be surprised if they have charagma stations in the church. They got it right next to the ATM. They're going to have a charagma station. They're going to have tattoo artists and doctors and nurses giving you that in the name of Jesus. And we're going to film that shit. We're going to do videos on that shit, and we're going to laugh at your black asses. Because our job is to tell people the Most High gave us this truth. Our job is to warn the people. Ezekiel 3, verse 18, and other parts of Ezekiel. That's just one random scripture. Warn them that the blood be not on your hand. So you got ISUPK and you got IUIC, two of these major camps. They ain't warning their people. And these people blindly follow them. And if And if any of the leadership of IUIC or ISUBK says, go ahead and take it, there's nothing wrong with taking it, they're going to take it because they don't know no better. They don't have their own minds. See, we here at Great Millstone, we build up young men's minds. Sound like a flow. We build up young men's minds with the truth. We're not going to pull a fast one on you, man. We didn't take no goddamn bag like you niggas did. You got to have taken the bag. Let me keep reading. I'm going a little into this, but for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. What yoke is he going to break? The paper yoke, the adhesion contracts, and will burst thy bonds. You ever been in the system? You got to get a bond out. You got to get your boy, go to the bondsman, and then when you get out, they give you the paperwork. You pay the money to the bondsman, which is like, it used to be 10%. Now it's like 20%. You know, and then they keep the money. You don't get that money back, or you can pay the full bill. And if you don't blow trial, you get all that money back. But if you get a bondsman, you pay a percentage of it, and then if you don't go to court and there's a warrant, bench warrant out on your ass, guess what? They're gonna lock your ass up, and then the bondsman, he gonna keep that money. And they showed you that in the movie. Jackie Brown? They showed you it. You know, and then they make you sign all these contracts, including UCC. How many of y'all know about the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code? Lawyers don't even know. I brought some UCC contracts on some lawyer. He looked at me. He said, I just got to be honest. I don't know nothing about the UCC. He said, I don't know nothing about the Uniform Commercial Code. And that's contractual. Everything is contractual, man. That's why these ambassadors from other countries, they park their car, they get a ton of tickets, and they can't take the guy's car, and they can't arrest him. But they do. They say, look, just try to pay us some of the money, because anybody that's an ambassador out from another state, in other words, you have the New York State has no jurisdiction over them. Even if they murder somebody, in America, then they go back to their country. They got to beg for that guy to be extradited, extradition back to the States, but they got to ask that government. Now, if the government says no, guess what? You ain't cut. The guy got all scot-free. It's all about jurisdiction. Read the Constitution Amendment, read the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. Then you understand what jurisdiction is all about. So the yokes that's on our necks are not on our necks no more. It's in the paperwork. And will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves on him. Meaning they're not going to use us. Give me a second. forgive me for that. Ninth verse, but they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will rise up unto them. These small hats been there established in 1948. Where's King David at? And then in the kingdom, we're going to live forever. So King David will be sitting on his throne. So they're not the people. That's why they're going to be blasted out of here by the Most High, not by us, by Yahweh, by Shem Shai. At the same time, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, will be set on fire. But Yasha Allah will be built back up. And they only in the northern part of our land. Our land is far more vast than that little piece of land that they got. All that Saudi Arabia, between the two bodies of water, between the Red Sea and the Euphrates, all that land, that's all ours. That's all ours. What they got is the northern part above Moab and Ammon. And then we're going to take Edom. That's also in the scriptures. It said, therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Yaqub, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Yasha Allah, but that's the Israel, the kingdom of Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar. He didn't say he's going to save just Jacob or just Israel or Judah. He said he's going to save Jacob and Israel. For I will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Why did he say that? Because of the breakup, as we know. Esau doesn't understand that. Esau doesn't know how to answer those, when it deals with Israel, when it mentions Israel, the northern kingdom, they don't know how to answer it because they don't know where the Israelites, the northern kingdom, went to. Neither be dismayed, O Yasha Allah, for lo, I will save thee from afar. Our land is at a certain place in the east, Middle East, as they call it. The place that afar is talking about the Americas and all around the other places of the earth. But the great deliverance is going to come out of Babylon the Great. And thy seed, Zerai, from the land of their captivity. And in the Baruch it says captivities. And Yaqub shall return and shall be in rest. That hasn't been fulfilled. And be quiet, and none shall make him afraid, because we're going to be in the power seat, because we're going to be the X-Men. We're going to have spiritual power. There's going to be a glow about us. That's also in Daniel 12. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, meaning you're going to take down the nations, they're not going to come back into power. I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure. So the Most High, that's why when you come into this truth, you don't tell a guy, well, the Passover is next week, you got to come to the Passover. Make sure you get a garment with fringes on it. Make sure you put your phylacteries on it. Make sure you bring your paddle. You come into this and you, there could be certain guys that'll come and listen in the audience and might not grow a beard as of yet. So he has to learn as he grows in this thing, as he's rooted, then he grows a beard, and then he starts to keep certain laws. He might not even really keep the Sabbath. But then he might say, well, I'm going to start keeping the Sabbath. They might say, they might have listened and learned and grew inside of a year. So they said, I'm ready to go to the Passover. You be the guy that said, how can I get down with you guys? And say, here, you can get down with us. Here's a t-shirt with fringes on it. Next week, got the Passover. You got to come to the Passover. No, he's not ready for the Passover. He's not ready for any of the high holy days. He's got to learn of Yahweh Shai first. And then he has to be rooted and grounded. But I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy
wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause. Right. Ain't no nation standing up for us. Ain't nobody standing up for us. In the place where it says, "Ye are not my people," there shall be said unto them, "You are the sons of the living power." That's why the ADL is upset, because Kyrie hinted at it. Like if you watch the movie, in that movie, Hebrews and Negroes, they tell you that we so-called black people in the Americas are the Israelites. That's what shook them up. That's why they got on Nick Cannon, because he had Professor Griff on, and they were saying that we are this. How can we be anti-Semitic when we're Semitic? They said, "There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up." Bound up meaning what? Healed, like medicine. So this is the medicine. We're giving you the medicine. When we give you this truth, we're giving you the medicine. It says, "Heal the sick," Matthew 10, right? How do we heal them? We heal them in the mind, in the spirit, in the soul. And Farrakhan ain't healing nobody. Farrakhan will lead you deeper into a pit. So I don't know what priest Alizar was talking about. He's my leader. Hey, that's my leader. I'm not a NOI, but he's my leader. He ain't no leader in no motherfucking body, but a bunch of dead people. All them people that follow this, that ain't nothing but a church organization, but he calls on Allah. How am I going to say I'm going to follow somebody that calls on Allah? They're lost, and the Most High will destroy him and his followers. Thou hast no healing medicines. Because when they healed you, what do they do? I do that myself. I'll take some ointment and I'll take a bound it, put it on the wound, and then wrap it. That's what it means to be bound. And then that medicine, that herb will seep into where you hurt at, where you have that injury or whatever, like Bengay. Bengay is what you do is with the Bengay, you might put the Bengay on it, put a towel over that, and put a heating pad over that, and you sleep with it on, and the next morning you good. So that's ancient medicine right there. All thy lovers have forsaken thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. Most High looked at us like we were the enemy, like we were another nation. With the chastisement of a cruel one. Now, anytime we got whipped and put in a hardcore slavery and jacked up by Esau, what did David say? That's his whipping stick. That's his sword, which is thy sword. What is that? Psalms. I think it's Psalm 17, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to go to it. It said, for the multitude of thine iniquities, thy wickedness, because thy sins were increased. See, one thing you can do too, show brotherly love and sisterly love. If a brother, he's doing bad, he don't got all his rent, and you got it, you help him. And we do that all the time at the camp, if a brother is back on his rent or back on whatever, he ain't got no money to eat until he gets paid the next week. Look, you got to say, "Here, brother, we're going to do a collection. We'll give you $150 or whatever the case may be. And if you need more, call this brother, he'll hook you up or whatever." It says, 15 verse, "Why criest thou for thine afflictions?" Like you, oh my God. Hey, when you're asking for reparation, you're crying because of your afflictions. Now they're talking about giving reparations, but guess what? They're gonna pull a fast one on you. They're gonna pull a fast one on you. And I'm gonna say this: they're talking about giving. I'm gonna round it off. Instead of 230 something thousand, 33,000, it should be rounding it off to 250,000. Okay, that ain't nothing, man. That's an insult. But now if they say, okay, we're going to give you 250,000 a year, now you can already imagine 80% of Jake. The first 3 months, they're gonna be doing good. That fourth month, for them, the rest of them 9 months, they're gonna be broke as hell. They're gonna be broke as hell, man. And they're gonna have to borrow against the money that they're gonna get next year with interest. So Jake is gonna fuck that money up. But there's gonna be a certain percentage, could be 20%, could be 30%, that's gonna turn that money over. And the first thing you do, if you don't know what to do, is, you cut it up and you try to save some money, or you put it in the gold and silver, not no investment on Wall Street, because Jake always fuck up the money when they go invest. Well, I made bad investment. Yeah, nigga, because you don't know how to invest. And the spirit of Satan is not working with you like that. Another thing, if they say, okay, we're going to give every Jake, if it's a man and a wife, every man, every woman, they might say, and every child that turns 18, they'll get their first check, 250,000, right? Now, these young Jakes, when they get that, they're gonna blow that money. They're gonna F that money up. They're gonna F it up. Trust me. But now, if they give it to you every year, they got it. If the country suffers inflation, they got to adjust for inflation. Let's say the next year inflation goes up 25% across the board. Everything goes up 25%. I'm just making everything even numbers. That means they're gonna have to give you an extra. What is it? About $65,000. So we're talking about a little bit more than 300, about $315,000 because of inflation. So Jake doesn't understand that, because they can give you 250 and they can pump money into the system, and that 250,000 turns into about 100,000. But you don't understand how the money system works. So that has to be in the contract if that's going to happen. But ultimately, true reparations is, if you put me into slavery, you got to go into slavery. If you whip my back, your back got to be whipped. If you raped our woman, we got to rape your woman. And said, why criest thou for thine afflictions? Yeah, you broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. So now you're bitching. Now you're crying. You're bitching up. Oh my God, Jesus, save me. Oh Lord Jesus. Oh Jesus, save me. Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. You see what niggas are out of their fucking mind, man. All kind of adultery, all kind of Mohism. Jake is just, they're a wicked animal. They're a wicked beast. And that's why the Most High, ultimately, he's going to wipe out the majority of our people, because you can't fix them. Like this guy, Sims, at Sims Funeral Home. Sims, he said, can you rehabilitate them? He said, no, you just kill them. That's what's the name of that movie? Damn, I can't even think of the movie. I got it on video. A Spike Lee movie. Terror in the Hood, Horror in the Hood, whatever the movie was. But that was a great movie. I saw it in the theater, and then when it came out on, I believe it was at that time it was on cassette, and then I got the DVD of it. I got the DVD somewhere. Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood. That was a great movie, man. That will lift you. I'll watch it right now, and it'll lift my spirits up. Especially the part with the senator. He was a senator or congressman, and the police messed with him, right? And I think they wound up shooting him, but he turned into a demon, and he fucked them two police up. And I remember in the theater, it was mostly Jake. We like, yeah, get them pig ass motherfuckers. They said, I have done these, reading on, I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. What is that talking about? All meaning what? 100%, right? It's either all or nothing. It said, therefore, all they that devour thee, all the nations that came against thee, they shall be devoured. And all that's even in Daniel 7. It said the beast shall be done away with, and the rest of the beasts we're going to put to the side to make them work. And all thy adversaries, all thy enemies, every one of them shall what? Shall go into captivity. And they that spoiled thee, took what you had, shall be a spoiled, and all thy prey shall upon that prey upon thee shall I give for a prey. This is getting ready to happen. Mount Micah 5 and 7 on down. Let me look up the word captivity. 2000, 2023, not the best time to be an Edomite. Let me get that word captivity. The word is shabya. Captivity, captives, state of captivity, capture, captives. Taken, captive, taken away, prisoners, captives. Almost finished. I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion. And Zion is what? You know, you think of your grandmother, your great great grandmother, there's a picture of it, and you look at the picture, and you remember her when she was alive. Or you win a trophy. That's a monument. You build a statue to somebody. You keep them alive in your mind. So the Most High got like a trophy, so to speak, in heaven. And when he looks at the trophy, he sees the Israelites. So he said, I missed it. I got to raise them back up. They've been beat down enough. Whom and the Most High raising us up in measure. Whom no man seeketh after, restoration of Yikbob. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents and have mercy on his dwelling places, Isaiah 14 and 1 and 2. And the city shall be built upon her own heap. What does that mean? What is a heap? When something is destroyed, it's laid in heaps, right? So what are we going to build on? We're going to build on a heap because the Most High is going to fire that place up, which is called Yasha'Allah, the land of Israel. So it's going to be built upon a heap. And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. The house of David. Amos 9 and 12. Start at 11. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving in the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, the Israelites. A little one shall become 1,000, and a great one a strong nation. 7 women shall take hold of one man, and they shall not be few, because one Israelite man, a regular, everyday, just an Israelite man, just a plain run-of-the-mill Israelite man, they're going to have 1,000 women. So how many children are they going to have? So you can imagine a great man, they're going to have so many, you're not even going to know your children. That's how many children you're going to have. It says ultimately we will be as the stars of heavens and as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. I will also glorify them. Glorify goes hand in hand with the kingdom. That's in Romans the 9th chapter. The glory, the adoption, the glory, the covenants. The glory is the kingdom. And they shall not be small, because we're going to have a lot of children, man. The children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. All, every nation that came against us, we're gonna punish them that oppressed us, because we're gonna oppress them. 2023, not the best time to be an Edomite. And their noble shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, because there's going to be order. And we're going to teach them the laws, statutes, and commandments. Ain't going to be no more Moism, man. Ain't going to be no adultery. You commit adultery, you put to death on the spot. Moism, you're going to be put to death on the spot. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engages his heart to approach unto me, saith the Most High? And ye shall be my people, and I shall be your power. Let this madness go by in the hallway. Okay, it says, behold, the whirlwind. Now, what's the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury? What is it talking about by the whirlwind? It's talking about ships, the so-called UFOs, so you can understand. A continuing whirlwind. These ships are going to cover the heavens from one side of the heaven to the other, from the east to the west. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Edomites. Malachi 1. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And he's called them the borders of wickedness. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart, his mind, in the latter days, which are in the latter days, ye shall consider it. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say I went a little long, but forgive me for that. Anyway, with that, is on to the next one.